What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another beautiful day in Canada here where I have to keep the door closed. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. We're on our journey to YouTube full time, to the moon. Today, Tokyo's Malibu's in here, and this is getting its twin turbo upgrade. These are the 67mm turbos that are going on Gina's Fox body. These things will do 1100, 1200 horsepower, 67, 62. These are the Borg style frame 69mm turbos that this car is getting. Before I get too far into anything, I just want to mention that this video is sponsored by Black Sheep Industries, which is my own company. We make blow-up valves, wastegates, fabrication parts. We just started making turbos at True North Turbos. Link is down below if you guys want to check it out. Boostedlifestyle will get you 10% off on the store. And that's except on wastegates. Wastegates, we lowered the price already just to give everybody the same good deal. So what I really want to do is I just want to pull off one of these turbos just to mock it up. Oh my God, no wonder it's getting smoky in the cab, Tokyo. You didn't even put the clamps on there. I'm gonna pull off one of these turbos. These are T3 flanges. We're gonna have to replace the flanges, but I just wanna mock up a turbo to see kind of how it fits in comparison to this one. This is a comparison of the size of the 3582 here, and then this is the new one. You can actually see that this wheel was hitting the housing in there. You can see it's a little roughed up right on the inside. And yeah, this is the cast wheel and the billet wheel as well. So I just went ahead and clocked this turbo so like it's kind of facing the same way, all the things. We're gonna bolt it in there with just one bolt on the T3 flange just to see kind of how far it sits down and if we need to lower it in the engine bay. And by lowering in the engine bay, I mean like if we're gonna have to, oh my God, that actually fits pretty decently in there. I mean, if we're gonna have to lower it down so it clears the hood. So you might get away with spit on it, Kyle. That'll make it work. Yep, any minute you wanna start threading that in there now. That'd be cool with me. Oh, that's the problem. These bolts have been cut before. They haven't been rounded off very good. Shit, that fits in there way better than I expected it to. Oh, that's actually, there's lots of clearance. I wish I had some Play-Doh so I knew exactly how much clearance there was in there. Oh yeah, look in there that you can see that this turbo was clearly hitting the side. So what I'll do is I'll probably send these turbos over to Nick, my partner at True North Turbos, and we'll probably take them apart, see if we can get new bearings for them, maybe put a billet wheel in this stuff, and then have these for backup turbos or something for something. But yeah, you can see on the blades, definitely hitting the housing. And then just for shits and giggles, here's a size comparison. This is a billet wheel, 69mm, and then this is the 61, I believe, GT35. So I'm learning more about turbos all the time, and me and Nick go back and forth, and he keeps like educating me on them. You actually make a lot of your power down here on the X-Deucer side. So the smaller side down here on the bottom. And what will happen is in competitions, if you're only allowed to have, just say a 69mm turbo, that's this size right here, but that doesn't limit you to your X-Deucer size. So people are taking bigger wheels. They'll take like an 80mm wheel, for example, keep the X-Deucer size, this big beefy piece at the bottom, and just neck it down to 69 up here so it's class legal. And that's how you get your cheater turbos. What I'm gonna do now, this is the next day. I'm actually gonna take some Play-Doh here. I bought some Play-Doh. I'm a child. And I'm gonna stick a T4 flange in between the turbo and the T3 flange. Put some Play-Doh right here. Close the hood. See how close we are to the hood. Easy as that. I probably could have used something different, but Play-Doh is the first thing that came to mind when I thought about how to measure small things. You're gonna wanna make sure to put some gloves on to cover your meat beaters if you're gonna beat your meat later. These ones be supplied by my own company, Black Sheep Industries. We have a bunch of flanges on there, LS, T4, T3, bunch of like little things that you need that if you order a turbo, you might as well order a flange too. Oh yeah, it's actually up off the fender a little bit more. I like that. Oh my God, that's so close. But it doesn't hit, which is, oh wait, this tilted down. Oh, that's hitting. It's hitting for sure. Yeah, you can see that we broke through the Play-Doh. I went ahead and I took most of the other turbo off because to get this one off, you actually have to take the center section out. But I found where our oil is coming from, and upon further inspection, you probably don't want this sound in your turbo. And it looks like the ceramic's been chipped. Like even if I hold this plate down, because it's held down when you join it together, that's not a good sound. I went ahead and I laid this turbo in here. It's gonna need some finessing for sure. We're gonna need to cut that flange off, get a new flange tacked on, and see, like, it might have to be tipped up just slightly. What I think I might do though, I don't know. We gotta take these manifolds off for sure though. So these are our manifolds here. They're just flipped over truck headers, to be honest. One was cut off here, but as you can see on the bottom, we welded some tabs. And these tabs have arms, and these go down to the bottom of the block just to help support the weight of the turbos. So we kind of built this for longevity. This is just schedule 40 pipe on there, and then this is just schedule 40 pipe as well, but it's 1.5, 2.5, and relatively cheap. You can see that there was a little bit of a restriction, like I had to grind out this flange, but we're gonna cut this flange off right now, put it back on the car, put the T4 flange on it, maybe get a tack weld on it and see if a turbo will hang from it. I just tacked up the flange here. It's got one tack on the top, one on the bottom, just in case I need to break it off and move it, but it looks like right now it's gonna fit. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull this off here. Pull the plate off this one. Just gonna jam that on that one and see. Oh boy, it looks like it was hitting. You know, we can always do right here what we did right here with the alternator and just let it clear itself. Because it can't go any lower or else it's gonna hit this fender. Like it's already like 1/8 of an inch from hitting that fender liner. So after a couple days of thinking about it and shaving my face and looking dumb now because I have to be clean shaven for work, well, the mask area anyways, so I found a really good method of making these things fit. We can't get rid of the inner fender here because in Canada, the road dirt is just gonna ruin the engine bay if you get rid of the inner fenders. But after some extensive research, we're gonna leave our Play-Doh here. Oh, I done messed up. I need more Play-Doh. Right on the top. Close the hood. So good. Now this is super scientific method. We're just gonna circle right here. And honestly, I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. Now I bet you'll fit. Look at that, I made a nice little turbo bump in the hood. Still hits a little bit, but you know, the way she goes sometimes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't. Does a bigger face make a smoother radius? This is a dead blow hammer, so who knows if this is gonna work. That's a nice little turbo bump you got there. Oh yeah, it's cleared now. The only thing is the engine torques this way, not on the solid mounts. These are just poly mounts. So this one has to be lower because it's gonna torque this way. Okay. You know what? That's basically perfect. You could probably use a little bit more massaging with that dead blow once I get some earplugs. You can see our little turbo bump right here. Smoothing that right out with something, you know, whatever. There's another turbo bump right here for the alternator turbo. Perfect. And that'll fit in there perfect, because if we move this any more this way, it's gonna hit this pipe. Move it any more this way, gonna hit the inner fender. Done. This one. Okay, it looks like by cutting down this flange and putting this one here, we actually run into an issue where the T4 flange actually like hits this flange. We're gonna have to space this one out, probably, I don't know, another ½ inch, but I'm gonna put a little bit of an angle on it. That way we can kind of rotate it whatever way we want. Tack weld it to this, get it on there. Get this as low as we can, because this is the side that actually torques up and potentially can hit the hood. And I'm pretty positive I have a bunch of this 2.5 inch piping over here. It's just this big beast of a pipe here. Oh my God, this is heavy. So we're just gonna back the bands off to about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 degrees. And by having a little bit of an angle cut, it gives us freedom to rotate that cut whatever way we want, just to get like a slight little angle better of what we need. Because it doesn't need to be really straight, it just needs to be, you know, universal.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
I kind of need 3 hands to do this, but whatever. It's so hard. Why so hard, Kyle? Honestly, I might need to point it down more, but whatever. Now, all we gotta do is mark it. Just gotta mark it, Kyle. Mark here. Tack weld that up, see what happens. Oddly enough, I can't find a DeWalt like 90-degree ratchet, so I've been using this 90-degree drill just with like a regular impact thing in it, and you know. Here goes nothing, Johnny. Remember little Johnny jokes? Those are the best. Why does this look really high on this side? Like the compressor housing. I could have tipped it more that way, I bet you. You know what, let's just see if it hits the hood right now, the way it sits. Oh yeah, it's definitely hitting. Okay, that needs to drop a little bit. We gotta cut one of those tack welds off, move this. Tickety cat. There. Ay, that already looks a lot better. They kind of look like the same turbos now. You can just stay here this time. Check out my arse. That's about as good as it's getting. Right here. Couple turbo bumps. Not hitting anymore, boy! Woo! I didn't want to catch that. So there we go, 2 turbos mounted, hood's cleared. So I just have to weld those manifolds up completely. I'll do that next time I come out here. The exhaust housings actually have to come off. They're like a Marmon flange, and it's just like an unorthodox flange for aftermarket stuff. So what we're actually gonna do is you can actually put these on a lathe, turn them down to actually fit a 3-inch V-band. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get these things turned down to 3-inch V-band. All our exhausts is already 3-inch V-bands. These pipes should work again. The only thing is these need to be extended probably 3 inches right here. And then this needs to be extended as well. And I'm actually building a further section on the exhaust on this thing, because if you look underneath, you can see how low that exhaust hangs. And that's because if you look closely right there, that's our transmission cross member. And I built that myself. It just doesn't have any loops to put exhaust through it. So I did go ahead and pick up one that has the loops in it. You can see that the loops for the exhaust right here. That's gonna give us a lot more ground clearance. And Scumbag Tokyo was really good at hitting that exhaust off the ground and ruining all my hard work. He actually bent it up. Get that up higher for him. That'll be on the next video. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the channel. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if this is the kind of stuff you're into. Once we get it done, we'll go back out testing versus our last video. Peace easy and get that V.